Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rico'S Rants. I'm your host, Rico DiGiorgio. So, I guess after watching Hook, I just had this urge to, watch every Peter Pan movie I could think of. And so, if you liked the rant of Hook, and if you are interested in the Peter Pan ones, then you can go through this journey with me, because this is so far like a mixture of amazement and a lot of bewilderment and a lot of like what the fuck. So this next one is a just like Hook. It's a big part of my childhood. So much so that it I didn't realize this, but this was the other movie that my mother put in front of me all the time when it wasn't Hook, and that is Peter Pan. I have the menu up on the screen. It's Peter Pan, the 1956 stage, like NBC aired or some shit, starring Mary Martin. Okay. I kind of want to grab my 5-year-old self and be like, how did you love this? This is such a bizarre thing to me. And it's not completely terrible, by the way. Say hi to Dino, guys. Dino. It's just this movie is so it's not a movie, okay? I can't keep calling it a movie because it's a Broadway show that was filmed and aired on NBC, and it was sort of like their version of like what I guess ABC was doing to Wizard of Oz. This was like the yearly thing that it would air. So much so that it got a revival like this past couple years, which I will do, starring fucking Christopher Walken as Captain Hook. So we'll get to that. That'll be interesting. I've never seen it, so I'm kind of intrigued by Pan, you bastard. I hate you. Like that's gonna be a mind fuck. But this was a mind fuck. Now the good. Mary Martin actually is tremendous as Peter Pan. Just has the joy, has the innocence, has the brashness, has the naivety, has um, the youth and joy and freedom of being a little boy always wanting to have fun. Perfectly captures it, and it's and Mary Martin is has a tremendous singing voice, sings in very different styles and keys and octaves in this. At one point, she straight up sings like an operatic tone. Um, and I remember being a young kid, being watching this, not knowing why a woman was playing Peter Pan. Tradition, obviously, for in the stage productions, is it's Peter Pan's usually played by a woman. I still don't know the answer to that. I don't know why. Is it just because one, like the first one, happened to be a woman, and they just said, "Well, let's roll with it." Um, that being said, she's Mary Martin is one of the few good things about this version of Peter Pan. There's a lot of issues. And I'm trying hard not to be so critical of this because it was made in the 50s. It it was a stage show, so it's a Broadway show, so it's not going to be perfect like a movie. But some of the liberties that they took with this really kind of threw me off. Um, it is unbelievably campy, particularly by the actor who played um, Captain Hook, because I guess he won an Oscar, or not an Oscar. He won a Oscar. He won a Tony for this, and I don't know how he did that because I would not have. Um, I would not have given it to him. I mean, I would have given it to him if he changed some things. Some of the, I don't know if it was him or the director or whoever, but there is some weird, exquisite decisions for this. In particular, he comes off very, very, very flamboyant and not all intimidating. He's very much a buffoon. He's very much, I mean, at least in like the Disney movie, the animated Disney movie, he's kind of terrifying. Yeah, he's a buffoon, but he's also, he has that voice and he seems scary. And when he's angry, I mean, he gets scared of the croc, so he is a coward in his own way. But at the same time, you're like, watching this made me feel like how people think of Hook as sort of like, you know, like a weird acid trip. That's how I felt about this. Watching this made me be like, how was this okay in the 50s? I'm trying to imagine people watching this in the 50s and being like totally 100% like, yep, that's fine. That's totally cool. Like, it's not just that it's flamboyant and it's very campy. It's just that they added things that I wasn't familiar with the Peter Pan storyline or the book or the play or the movies or the musical, or not musical, well, musicals, that I just would never have thought of. There's a segment in this where there is because it's actors in costume, obviously. There is like there's actors dressed up as like a lion and a kangaroo with boxing gloves and a giant weird bird peacock thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where were you in the other versions? Were there lions and kangaroos and shit in Neverland that I didn't know about? And why do they have such a huge, important feature to this? Were they just really desperately trying to, like, make a big show? I don't know. So, Mary Martin, Peter Pan comes, gets the kids, John, Michael, and Wendy. Listen, if you don't know the storyline of Peter Pan, one, why are you watching this? Two, shame on you. Go fucking read a book. Watch a movie. What the fuck's wrong with you? So, if I'm not going to bother explaining the plot of Peter Pan. One of my issues is the fact that the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Darling, are English. That's the whole point, is that Peter Pan is set in London and Neverland. The parents are obviously English, even though the actor who played Mr. Darling is Australian. But he comes off very thick-clipped, kind of posh English, even though he's really very fucking flamboyant in this. And also kind of dour at the same time. It's really bizarre how he does it. The kids playing Wendy, John, and Michael are all clearly American. And they all have clearly American accents. And you're just like, come on. It's not like there were no kids in England. They could have fucking found some kids in England. So they take the kid. There's a lot of singing, and a lot of songs are really ridiculous. Because I watched this for the very first time with subtitles. Because when I watched it when I was a kid, it was on tape. There was no subtitles or captions. So half the time I didn't know what the fuck they were singing, except for like, I'm flying, 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 and you could only pick up certain words because Mary Martin. To all the actors, even if they were bad, I give them credit for singing these fucking lyrics. Because these lyrics were bizarre. And I'm guessing it was Jerome Robbins was the guy who did it. But, like, I'm looking up the cast in this. So the actor who played Captain Hook and Mr. Darling, Cyril Richard, he is not. I don't understand how he won a Tony. Like his Captain Hook just kind of comes off really weak and buffoonery, and I don't know if it's the dialogue, but in his voice, it just like it just oh Peter Pan, ooh I'll tear him. That's another thing I don't like is that it's got two claws for his hook, and I'm like, why? It's a hook, not hooks. I'm petty about little shit like that. I'm sorry. He changes his costume in like every fucking scene, and I guess in some ways that the red flamboyant suit he wears, which is sort of like I could kind of bring it up. It's on the poster, so I don't know if you could see it. There it is. So that costume is kind of, but I mean, look at that. It's like there's no mustache. Is it just me, or is the mustache like a Disney invention, or is it in the source, or is it like because I always envision the mustache like with the hook curls and everything like that, like Dustin Hoffman. Maybe the movie Hook just ruined every other Peter Pan movie for me. Maybe that's what happened. But to be fair, this did not help. Another part that I had a big issue with, and I'm guessing this is a reoccurring thing. It seems that every Peter Pan adaptation, and again, I'm going through a bunch of these, so I may eat my words. Seems like the majority of the Peter Pan adaptations that I can remember have nearly fucked up the Indian sequences. They always cast the Indians by prominently white people, or not feature them at all, or made them very racist, like red skin kind of shit, like they did in Disney. And Disney. I'm losing my voice. I used to be able to do a decent Mickey. I probably shouldn't. I don't want to be sued. They control everything. It's like sorry. One of these days I'll be brave enough to do a Mickey impression on camera. I think they might have to do Donald Duck, but it's not appropriate right now. Anyways, so in this one, Tiger Lily is played by a complete platinum blonde white woman who's like the lyrics and the songs that the Indians, because I can't call them Native Americans. They're not Native Americans because it's not in America. They Native Neverlandians. I guess that's why they call them Indians. But they're not even fucking Indians. They're not from India. This movie is the concept of Peter Pan is beginning to make me realize Peter Pan kind of is insane and really kind of fucked up. There's a whole rant about it that I may use to bridge up to what I love about Peter Pan and what my problems are Peter Pan. Dino, what are you doing, dude? What the fuck? You are really going to town on your... Never mind. There are lyrics, because I read the captions, where they're doing this musical and Waka Waka Wing Wom. And the actress who plays Tiger Lily is immensely talented. She's funny, she's theatrical, but I never thought of Tiger Lily as the Indian Peter Pan, always looking for fun. This movie had too much fun. And I know it's a Broadway show, but it's bizarre. But there's a part, it's just, the lyrics are fucking ridiculous where they go, Waka Waka Wing Wom, Waka Waka Wing Wom. And they just kind of, do this shit, and you're just I'm watching this, I'm just I'll take my glasses off because the lights reflecting. how is this? How is this made? I'm gonna turn off the TV screen because it's making the light reflected. So, just a bizarre fucking stage thing. And again, Mary Martin was one of the best things. There's some really bizarre sequences. There's also this character named they take the maid Liza, and again, I'm 99% positive this character Liza, the maid, who's also featured in Hook, shows up in Neverland, and like they throw like fairy dust at her, and she fucking follows Peter and the kids to Neverland. They never talk about her when she's there. They're never like, Liza, you're the maid. What are you doing here? Everything's just sort of like matter of fact and accepted easily. And then Liza has this weird. I'm sorry, I gotta stretch out, guys. My legs hurt. Liza has this weird sequence where she dances with the kangaroo and the lion and the weird bird peacock thing, and you're just like, what the fuck does this have to do with the story? Is it literally just intermission so that Mary Martin can change into costume or whatever? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then Liza goes up to Peter and says, will you teach me how to crow? And there's this whole sequence where they learn how to crow. It makes no... I don't understand the point of this character in this fucking show. It serves no purpose. And plus, she's American too. What the fuck is this movie, dude? God, what else? What else was a mindfuck? Oh, this aggravated the fuck out of me. There's a part where Peter asks Wendy, what's your name? In the very beginning. And she says, Wendy Myra. Angela Darling. When it's any actual fan knows it's Wendy Moira Angela Darling. Moira was too weird, so Myra was better. Okay. And I didn't mishear it. I read it as a subtitle. So either someone fucked up. I don't know who fucked up, but someone fucked up. I think the majority of the people who made this this fucking thing, fucked up. On that note, look, should you see this? Yes. You should fucking see this. But it's really very much like you should see this and get like if you love musicals and you love Broadway shows, you may love this like I loved this when I was 5 or 6 years old. This is the first time I've seen it in 20 years. This is what Hook did to me, man. It's making me watch all these fucking Peter Pan shit. And I got a whole list of like what I'm gonna watch. I've got a ton. I've got this is what's gonna be coming soon. Coming soon to you guys. The other Peter Pan Live. The Disney Peter Pan. The live action Peter Pan. Return to Neverland, which I never saw. So it's the direct-to-DVD of the 53 Disney Peter Pan. And Pan, which I never saw. But I heard was god fucking awful. So that's what's coming to you guys. My cousin actually, she saw the Hook rant, and we were talking about this, and I said, and she said, she didn't indirectly say I should do this, but she inspired it. I think I'm going to add Finding Neverland to this Peter Pan list. Again, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I kind of had that obsessive like, oh, I'll do one, I'll do them all. I know the irony is that there's some movies in a trilogy and series that I haven't done. Like, I know I need to do an Indiana Jones Last Crusade. It'll happen. On that note, I'll see you soon, guys.